Hello everyone! Greetings from Kharkov, Ukraine. My name is Svetlana Mucha and I'm the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. I have been inspired to this video by an email from a gentleman who watches our YouTube channel for a few years already, I think. So the gentleman was asking about the success rate of our matchmaking service. Basically, the question was, what is the percentage, approximate percentage of gentlemen and ladies who utilize our service and who succeed? So I think it is important to start with describing our matchmaking process. As you already know, we work with gentlemen as paying clients and ladies register in our database for free. So they are free members. And we are very honest and upfront with the ladies who join our database that we are not going to conduct an individual matchmaking search for them. Why? Well, obvious reason, they don't pay us for this. So basically for ladies it is some kind of a lottery or a gamble. So they register in our database, and if the gentleman who matches their criteria hire us and this exact lady matches his criteria, then we will call her and we will invite her over for another interview with us, and we will tell her more about our client, we will speak more about dating, and if there will be mutual interest from her side, then we will suggest her profile to our paying client, and if he says yes, then we will arrange a date for them. However, we don't promise ladies the exact number of dates with the exact number of gentlemen within exact period of time. It is impossible to predict. We honestly tell that we don't know when a gentleman like you are looking for will contact us, if he will contact us, and we can't guarantee you dates. Ladies register for free in our closed private database. We don't post any information about them anywhere. We don't have this catalogs of women, of brides, or how you call it. So basically, if she has registered with us, no one will ever find out unless she will talk about it, unless she will share this information with someone herself. Of course, it can happen that the lady will come over for the interview with us, that she will send a request to us at the moment when we are working with a gentleman who is just her type and she happens to be his type. It has happened many times when, for example, we are currently working with a client and he is looking, let's say, for a petite blonde who speaks English, has a university degree, and she has to be in her middle 40s and doesn't have like smaller kids, and this lady comes to the interview. Then right during this very first interview we can start talking to her about our client, and if we see that there is real interest, she can get a date in 2 weeks after her registration or in 3 weeks after her registration. But it can happen also that the lady will be in our database for months and we won't call her simply because we do not have a client who matches her criteria and we don't have a client who is looking for her type. For obvious reasons, she can be told, I have a beautiful lady in my database, I think for 6 months already, and I can think of her right now because I have conducted interview with her and she has been to my book signing, and she is over 1 meter and 80 centimeters tall. She is fluent in several foreign languages, but she is tall and we simply do not have clients at the moment in the age group she is interested in and who are her height or higher. We have some tall guys, but they are looking for shorter women. They don't want to date someone who is of the exact height, so she has to be waiting till her gentleman contacts us. So we can't speak about the success rate with the ladies who join our free database, because first of all, this database is huge and it is changing all the time because we get new members who sign up with us, new free members, the ladies, and also ladies text us that, for example, I have met someone on my own, or I'm not longer interested, or I am relocating. So it is changing all the time. When ladies join our database, they get the interview with our manager and with our psychologist, and these interviews are for free, and many ladies tell that it is a really good experience to actually get a chance to talk to a professional about dating, about their dating chances, about strategy, about the type of a man she seems she's attracted to, and about the type of a man she should be looking at. So for many ladies, it is a really game-changing experience, because after this interview, she has different type of thinking about dating, about relationship in general. And also, you have probably heard it in some videos that we have two separate databases of free members for our local matchmaking clients and for our international matchmaking clients. So I can't give you the statistics about the success rate of our female members because they join the free database, and we work with our own database. We don't work with other companies. We don't recruit female members elsewhere. So it is our own closed database. And our free members, they don't pay for our service, and we do not conduct individual matchmaking process for them. Now let's speak about our male clients. They actually hire us and pay for our matchmaking service. And to our male clients, of course, we guarantee the exact number of dates with the exact type of women who match the exact criteria. For example, age group, her language skills, her marital status, that she has never been married, her desire to have or not to have kids, her height, level of education, etc. And we guarantee these dates within the exact time frame. For our paying male clients, we conduct the search using the base of our free members, ladies. Usually to set a client on one date, we end up interviewing from 10 and up till 35 ladies from our database to pre-select one. It doesn't mean that other ladies, let's say 30 or 34 ladies are bad candidates or bad people. They are not the right candidates for this gentleman. Usually when the age gap is involved, for example, a gentleman wants to date someone who is 10 or 12 years younger, half of the ladies we will interview will say no to the date because they will think the age gap is too big. That's reality. Also, some of these ladies simply won't like the photo of our client for whatever reason. They think that he's not handsome enough, they think that he's too brunette or not blonde enough, or for example, they won't feel attracted to his height, his profession, etc. So many gentlemen like to think that only men are visual and only they can appreciate female beauty. Women are visual too, and women also want to like what they look at. They want to feel physically attracted to their partner. And also during these interviews, we try to understand if the lady is on the same page regarding her long-term goals and priorities as our client. For example, a gentleman is looking for a lady who is done with having babies, and she has to be in her early to middle 40s, with grown-up kids or without kids, because our client doesn't want to have more children. He wants to travel, he wants to enjoy life, his kids are grown-ups. And let's say I have a lady in front of me on the interview and she is 41 and she wants to have a baby in her new relationship. This is a priority for her. This is something she really wants and craves. So of course I wouldn't be introducing such a lady to my client because their long-term goals do not align. For example, my client is really into outdoors and he loves hiking, he loves spending time in a tent, he loves nature, like rowing, going to mountains, bike riding, etc. And I'm talking to a lady and I'm asking her about outdoors, and she tells me that, oh yes, I love outdoors, like walking through a park, sitting on a bench, watching a fountain, reading a book. That's my type of outdoors. Of course, I understand that if I introduce them, they will have a problem because he will tell her that he wants to go hiking and she will think that he's crazy. So I won't introduce such a lady to such a gentleman. So there are lots of things we have to pay attention at when we conduct the interviews to make sure when the gentleman and the lady meet, chances that they will actually like each other are quite high. And usually after such thorough interviews, first dates really lead to second dates and to third dates, and the gentleman end up dating one of the ladies. Of course, we can't guarantee love from the first sight because so often both men and women can have these unrealistic expectations that there will be these butterflies in the stomach and there will be a sparkle the star will be falling, and they have this understanding about chemistry based on novels and TV shows, which has absolutely nothing to do with reality. So we can't guarantee that a gentleman will feel like if he was 17 again on that date, but we can make sure that our clients are meeting quality people who have similar long-term goals and who have showed interest in them. Why I am sharing all this with you? Because I want to tell you about the success rate that we have with our male clients. And our success rate is about 80-85%, which means that 80-85% of our male clients who actually hire us and pay us for our service end up getting engaged and married. The gentleman who has written this email to me asking about our success rate has mentioned that in his opinion a matchmaking service should have a success rate about 30%. Well, it's a very low success rate. Most of my colleagues in the United States who are the member of the same matchmaking alliance that we are have a success rate of 70% and above. And usually newcomers who just join the matchmaking world, they have rather low success rate, but within the first year they either will be kicked out of the business or they will grow professionally and they will have a higher success rate. Perhaps this gentleman was speaking about speed dating events, some single events, and also about online dating, but I believe their success rate is even lower. Because like online dating, like really, it's such a gamble and you have to learn how to use it first to be successful there. Of course, you can ask me about gentlemen who do not end up getting engaged and married after using our service. Why so? Well, in most of the cases, the gentlemen themselves decide against it. They understand that, for example, now is not the right time to start a relationship or he's not ready to settle down. We had gentlemen who went through the matchmaking process who have met a girl, started a relationship with her, and they understand that the next logical step is to actually propose to a lady and to bring this relationship to the next level. And the gentlemen tell that, I don't feel I'm ready. And it has happened before that this same gentleman returned to us 4 or 5 years later, sometimes 3 years later, telling that, okay, now I feel sure, now I'm ready to settle down. Some gentlemen do not succeed because they simply are not ready to adjust their flirting skills, their dating strategy. They believe they already know how to do it. And well, when they go out on dates and when they see that their strategy, it simply is not working, not because women are Ukrainian, sometimes yes, because women are Ukrainian, but usually because they are out of practice. And if they are not ready to adjust their ways, they won't succeed. We have worked with gentlemen who haven't been in serious offline relationship for 10 or 15 years. 10 or 15 years. You can tell me right now that there has to be something wrong with these guys. Why they were single for 10 or 15 years? Well, they simply had other priorities. They were getting their educations, they were building careers, building businesses, changing careers, relocating, traveling, taking care of parents. They had other priorities and they simply didn't want to invest their time and energy into serious relationship, into dating, into building those serious relationships. So as you can understand, if a gentleman was out of dating practice for 10 or 15 years and he has never been married, you can't be really surprised that he will sabotage a few dates. You can't be surprised that he will start building his first relationship and it won't necessarily end up in engagement. Because dating is also a skill and you have to learn so much more about yourself and about dating, about the type of woman you really need in your life, and you can only do it on the battlefield of love. You can only do it out there when you talk to women, when you start dating. So we had clients over the years who have met ladies with our help after being single for 10 or 15 years, and they have managed to start a relationship with one of those ladies, and this relationship lasted for 6 months, 8 months. Unfortunately, not all such relationships end up with engagement or marriage, and such clients usually they return to us, and this time they pay even more attention to coaching because they realize, why they need it, and they realize how they can benefit from this coaching. Once we have been working with a gentleman and he hasn't been dating for 15 years. He is a programmer for a big IT company in the United States, and he honestly said that dating was not a priority for him. He tried online dating and he understood that it was a waste of time, so we have introduced him to a lady. He has sabotaged a few dates, and with that lady they have managed to build a certain relationship, so he has traveled twice to meet her. They have been together for 9 weeks. And then a new project came up and he has decided to put their relationship on hold. So for 3 weeks he was just silent. He didn't return her messages, he was not texting her, she was calling us. We have texted and called him because we were concerned what happened. And 3 weeks after, he's texting us that, oh, I was just busy, I was in the zone, so I was working on this project. I have decided to put my communication, my relationship with Tamara on hold. As you can understand, Tamara did not appreciate such attitude, so she wanted to do nothing with him after he was absent for these 3 weeks. And to be honest, he was not the best boyfriend before that, so we can't actually blame her. And now this gentleman is hiring us for another round of dates, and this time he promises to listen more and he promises to implement all our dating tips and advice, because he has realized he really needs us. We have been doing professional matchmaking for 13 years already, so we have been in this business for a while, and our high success rate, 80 to 85%, has a lot to do with our experience. But of course we work with different type of people. For example, this summer one of our clients got drunk on his first date with one lady, and for the next 2 days he was so hungover, he was like puking around, he couldn't go out on new dates, and we have scheduled 3 dates for him with the ladies who were pre-selected for him. Of course, the first lady, after going out with him on that date, when he got wasted, she wanted to have nothing to do with him, and you can't blame her for this. And other 2 ladies, one came from Kiev to meet him, and she took a train to meet him. She came on her own cost, and she couldn't meet him because he was not in the right condition to do it, so he hasn't attended the date. And we have lost a beautiful female member because she was very, very disappointed that we couldn't provide her with the date. She has traveled. And the third lady, his third date, we had to reschedule the date, and we had to explain to her that he felt sick and we're so sorry. And when they went out on a date, he actually told her the truth, that he was hangover, and this was why we had to reschedule the date. And she was also very disappointed. She didn't want to go out with him again, and also she didn't want to be in our database anymore because we have introduced her to a guy who had to reschedule a date because he was hungover. Can you blame us that this gentleman was not successful in his matchmaking process? Of course not. So we can't be there on a date and tell him that you can't order the second bottle of wine, it's too much, concentrate on a lady. He was stressed, he is not a bad guy, and he made the wrong choice. But people have to understand that they are responsible for their own choices. Being for 13 years in this business, even by probability theory, we have faced some people whom you can't actually call nice, but we are conducting a premium service. We are not here to make friends, we are not here to hang out with people. They hire us to deliver them what they want and what they need. Once we have been working with a gentleman, and he's a tall, very handsome British guy, and he was complaining all the time. He wanted to meet someone very slim and very tall, and we have introduced him to a lady. She was 1 meter and 75 centimeters tall and 54 kilos, so she was really underraised, and the gentleman has claimed that she is fat. Like, she wears the extra small size, so by no means she is fat, but he was complaining all the way, even though he has asked her out for second date, for third date, and they ended up dating. But still he was telling that he feels slightly disappointed because he was expecting a higher quality of women, and she is an okay girl, but he wanted someone more beautiful, someone more sophisticated. And this lady, she actually has filled in an official complaint to me. She said that our driver was rude to her. Guys who know our driver Alex, they know that he's this teddy bear and he loves all our clients. And he's a truly important cupid and he's never rude to anyone. Anyway, this lady said that he has called her and said that he is waiting in front of your office. And in her opinion, by saying that he is waiting by her office, he is accusing her in keeping him waiting. He is accusing her of not being punctual. Actually, we didn't have to pick her up and drive her to the date to start with. By our contract, we take our male clients to the dates, and after the date we take the gentleman back to his hotel and the lady back to her house or apartment or whenever they want to go. So in their case, since the gentleman was already dating only that lady, and the lady has asked to give her a ride since her office is located not far from our office, and she knew that the driver would be passing her office on the way to the hotel of our client, so we said that okay, he will take you from your office, then drive with you to the hotel of our client, and then he will take you to the date. To make the story short, this couple ended up getting married, and on the next day after they got married, they have blocked the whole Diolli team on all social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, even in Skype. It's not like any one of us would be texting them. As you can imagine, you can't call them like very nice people, but still we like being in touch with all our clients to see how it goes. Anyway, I know that they are still married, and I know that they're happy together because many girlfriends of our female client have joined our database, and they share news that she's posting photos on Instagram, and she's sharing lots of information about her life in UK with our male client. This couple had their happy end, they are happily married, and the whole team was relieved when we have finished working with them, when we have fulfilled our contract. Another gentleman was not happy with our service. Actually, he has written 12 angry emails after his first date with the lady we have introduced him to, and he has written that I have to fire my manager because she is incompetent and she is this and that, and he has even called her a bitch in 12 emails. Now you can ask me why. No, not because he didn't like his date, because our manager has booked a restaurant for their first date, and in that restaurant they ran out of rabbit. So the gentleman wanted to order a specific dish, and the waiter told him that unfortunately it was Friday night and many guests were there and all the rabbit was eaten. First date, like really, you can order something else. It's a good restaurant and we often recommend it to our clients, and usually they like it. We actually recommend restaurants in the downtown that we like personally and our clients like, because we get the feedback about the restaurant as well from our clients. So no one ever has complained about that restaurant, but well, it can happen. Friday night, they didn't have a rabbit. Really, like 12 angry emails with calling my manager names because you couldn't eat a rabbit. We don't run that restaurant, we don't control shipping of products there, we can't be responsible for that, we schedule dates. Of course, in the opinion of that gentleman, it was our fault, and on purpose we have chosen a very bad restaurant for his first date because we wanted to kill his chances with that lady. Sasha, can we add a very big slow facepalm here? This story reminds me of a crazy review I have once read to the hotel. I was actually surfing through TripAdvisor and through Google. I was checking reviews to the hotel. This is the hotel on Maldives, and one lady has written a very angry review that this is the worst hotel ever because she has spent there a week and it was raining the whole week and the weather was terrible and the staff of the hotel wanted to do nothing about it. She has actually accused the hotel staff that they didn't change the weather. Actually, the hotel has replied and they have mentioned that unfortunately she has visited their hotel during the low season, and during the low season usually it rains. So The story of the rabbit reminds me a lot of this review, and as you can understand, working with people, you can't make everyone happy. Working with people is not easy, and while I was preparing myself for this video for you, and usually I write down some examples that I want to use in the video, or some stories that I want to share, and there was this lady sitting on the next table. I was sitting in the cafe having my brunch, and she has called the waiter complaining that there is no milk in her espresso, and the waiter told her that you have ordered the espresso and it comes black. If you want some milk, I will bring it to you. She was not happy with his answer, but she said that, okay, bring me that milk. And she has started calling her friend, telling that, can you imagine that? I have ordered espresso and he didn't bring me milk, and now he brought me milk and it is warm and I wanted cold milk. Another facepalm. I love people, I love working with people, but sometimes during such moments I feel like I should reconsider my love to people. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I hope I have answered your question about success rate and why some people do not succeed, unfortunately. And I think I will do more videos about success rate and tips how to succeed. I hope it was useful. If you still have some questions, feel free to leave them below this video, or you can send an email to Svetlana@Diolli.com. Don't forget to press a like to this video and to subscribe to our channel. Svetlana Mukha with love for Diolli.com.